So the official Season 4 teasers have already begun. We're likely to see more in the coming days before what I anticipate to be like next Wednesday or Thursday of a full reveal, but in the meantime, I want to take some time to examine what we've already seen unfold for the season ahead. A sort of first look of both leaks and official teasers and information. It's not the full picture, but a rough outline of what to expect, something to get you in the right frame of reference. So grab your thoughts below, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 6 and other FPS content I'd love to have in the community. But for now, let's get into it. So starting on the operator front here, the sort of focal point thematically of the season, we did see that based off of an actual teaser from the outro cinematic for Season 3, that we know who Season 4 is going to revolve around narratively, that being Stitch. No one really stays dead in COD anymore, though, of course, that one they cut to black with the gunfire at the outro for Black Ops Cold War, so I guess technically you didn't necessarily see Stitch die or anything like that, but it is one of those things that's kind of perplexing to a lot of people to see him back, but he is back. Beyond that, though, we've also seen some additional leaked operators that are codenamed Doberman, Corgi, and Poodle. Those are the sort of presumed operators that you'll end up seeing throughout Season 4 here. Whether or not any of those include any of the Black Cell operators or anything like that, we don't quite know, but it is interesting because usually whenever we see names thematically tied together like this, it would indicate a collaboration of some form or another. Honestly, though, that is something that these could be honestly anything. However, as we talked about in a previous video, the name Doberman makes me think of Snoop Dogg. Not only because of his own representations, but because we had a Black Cell Doberman variation of the Snoop Dogg operator in Modern Warfare 2. So if they're themed, it could be a collective collaboration, again, something hip-hop related, like we saw in Modern Warfare 2 with Snoop Dogg, Nicki Minaj, and 21 Savage, or it could be just something that's entirely off the wall and not that at all. There's unrelated rumors of a Mission Impossible and Doom crossover, as we'll talk about in a second, but again, if we're on the money with a Doberman pull of it being Snoop Dogg, it wouldn't really work out as such. I don't personally know how those would all tie together. Pure speculation on those ones, but we do know of Stitch and a few other operators already leaked for Season 4. Weaponry, that's something we again saw 2 of these already confirmed. In that same outro cinematic for Season 3, we see the FFAR and the LC-10, so a rifle and an SMG from Black Ops Cold War. Keeping that sort of nostalgia train going based off of Season 3 and the Modern Warfare 2019 aesthetic to it and what we see, this now going into 2020 and the post-launch year of support of 2021. But this is something that, honestly, I'm a big fan of both of these weapons coming back. The FFAR and the Kar 98K was probably one of my favorite combinations in the entire sort of history of Warzone's meta. That was always so much fun to play around with, so looking forward to having the FFAR back. I just hope it doesn't have too much visual shake at its base like we see with a lot of weapons by comparison to their Modern Warfare 2019 or Black Ops Cold War counterparts, but we'll have to wait and see. And the LC-10 is obviously one that is a pretty solid SMG for multiplayer. It was a lot of fun, but also for Warzone, it could pack a punch as well. However, those are probably not going to be the only weapons we end up seeing throughout the season. Will they be the Battle Pass weapons? I'd probably say that yes, being that they are the main marketed ones, those are probably what we'll see in the Battle Pass, but we also had a ton of other weapons data mined recently, according to data miner and leaker Alex from the community we've talked about before. Those being assault rifles codenamed Fresno, Aspen, and Milan, a submachine gun of Lisbon, a marksman rifle codenamed Erie, a shotgun codenamed Olov, an LMG codenamed Mesa, a kill streak called the M202, and melees of the pickaxe and B Knuckles. Now, the SMG codenamed Lisbon, likely the LC-10, and the FFAR accounting for one of those rifles as well. But apparently we've also seen the Olympia being the Olov, and a revolver was not seemingly in this listing of weapons, but it was leaked in Warzone Mobile a couple of months back that has still never come to Black Ops 6. So that's another one up there as well. According to Alex, that kill streak of the M202 is the Grim Reaper as well. And then, of course, the pickaxe and B Knuckles are the pickaxe and brass knuckles, respectively. So we do know of a handful of weapons here that could be coming in Season 4, whether it be, again, through Battle Pass means, event challenge means, mid-season update means. We don't quite know at this point, but those are the weapons we've seen detailed thus far. Now, as for maps, this is one of those things that is rather interesting because we actually kind of have one teaser already, but beyond that, not a whole ton, which, as we'll touch on in a second, is actually kind of incredible to me. But as for the teaser for the map, we do know in the Season 3 outro cinematic, we saw on the whiteboard Camp Zeta Iceland and a brief map layout associated with it. Not fully, but a part of a map layout. Now, all credit for this theory to my buddy Ink Slasher. He's the one I saw this from here, but he pointed out the layout on that whiteboard looks like the interior of the map Payload from Black Ops 4. And to test that theory even further, from the official map description, the map is set deep in the Icelandic mountain ranges. So while Camp Zeta has, to my knowledge, never been listed as a name or like a dev name for a map or anything in lore just yet, this does match up with that theory, the positioning and the layout itself. Now, with that layout, we don't know if that's going to be simply just the interior, like a strike map or something like that, or if we'll get the full map remastered or reimagined, but it's not a bad guess to keep your mind open for if announced. Outside of that, still not much is known officially as we come back to it. Map-wise, they've kind of locked things down this year, which is both kind of cool, but also a little frustrating if you love to listen to leaks and think about what's upcoming. Personally, I'm not bothered either way, but it is kind of crazy that we've had so much other stuff leak out for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone content from operators, weapons, perks, kill streaks, map points of interest in Warzone, zombies maps overall, but we haven't really seen anything in regards to multiplayer maps in general. What I'd expect, though, is anywhere from 4 to 6 maps on the season. That seems to be the average they're in this sort of cycle with through the first 3 seasons, a remaster or 2 perhaps mixed in with all other new content. So still, the prospect of maps like Launch that have been leaked for a while are there and could be coming. As for events and crossover content that is rumored, we've seen leaked reports of Halo, Gears of War, Doom, and Mission Impossible events and crossovers all rumored to be happening, but so far, I don't think there's really all that much in the game files that point towards this, though those things could be added with the Season 4 update itself, that they are just actually not in the build we have yet. For events overall, my only hope is that not only we see some crossovers that make sense, like we talked about, there's a laundry list of things that you could do that have a military perspective to them or some sort of firearm basis to it, and not something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the High Art event where it's just kind of like, what are we doing here? This is a war game, is it not? But beyond that, I do just hope that we kind of see more camos introduced with these events upcoming in Season 4 and beyond. I actually really liked the Blaze of Glory event just because, again, that end goal, they may not be the best camos available, but they are camos no less, which is my big thing, as you've probably become well accustomed to if you've been on the channel here at all the last couple of years. But to go right back to a blueprint with the Got Your 6 event was kind of a tease, so fingers crossed events in Season 4 and beyond do get back on track here with those types of rewards. Now, zombies, this is something that is interesting because we did actually today get another teaser for what's upcoming, where it was a tweet from Treyarch that said only one can win, #zombies, with Project Janus and Richtofen and Sam as the other picture or icon. This is something that is very interesting because a lot of people are kind of thinking this could be a teaser for Grief, a mode from Black Ops 2 that was leaked to potentially be in this year's game or in Black Ops 7, with perhaps each of them representing the 2 factions you could end up playing in a sort of PvP element as you could in Black Ops 2, the CIA versus the CDC. It could be Project Janus versus Sam. So it is quite possible, but it also could be for a new map, a sort of final showdown type of deal. But of course, that's something that's up to interpretation, especially with the rumor that we only have one more map coming for Black Ops 6, which that's been circulating around a bit, as it doesn't appear that there's, at least as of right now, any additional map beyond Janus Towers and that final map in the game files. Now, that could change again in Season 4. Let's just theoretically say another map comes at Season 4's launch. Maybe we don't see a map at Season 5, but we do at Season 6, that it is something that could be then added at the Season 4 update that far out. You're still 3 to 4 months away from that next DLC drop at that point. But if that's not the case, timing-wise, that comes into question. What the heck is going on, especially if they're teasing stuff right now? If this is theoretically the last map and they're teasing it for Season 4, because otherwise we wouldn't see a teaser for something like this if it was coming not in the next update. Even if it was coming in Season 4 Reloaded, we wouldn't see that teased right now. It'd be announced probably in the blog post talking about Season 4's launch, but saying, hey, check back towards mid-season when we have something to talk about. But if it launches with Season 4, that would be 5 to 6 months until Zombies would be released with Black Ops 7's launch, and players would get to play Zombies in a new capacity again. That is an insane amount of time that we've seen huge content droughts before, like 3 months with specific seasonal delays in the past. Zombies in particular used to be like at most 3 to 4 months max with the delivery of not every seasonal drop, but like every season and a half drop with Cold War, and then the pack drops with Black Ops 4 and earlier. But like 5 to 6 months is an absurd downtime for zombies. So either this isn't the last map, there's an absurd downtime, or there's a third theory of something that could be a surprise drop or a pre-order bonus that I don't know how much weight that theory has behind it, but all of it is incredibly odd. There's another rumor that this could be hinting at dual Easter eggs and a sort of choosable path here that I honestly think could be really cool. Narratively, it would make sense to play out like that. I mean, the crew knows Sam's intentions. Do you go with Richtofen and Project Janus, or do you go with Sam? I think with this one simple tweet, Treyarch has really kind of stirred the pot and got a lot of people thinking, but when will we know for sure is, I guess, the next big question on deck. Again, next week for sure, we're still going to see more teasers and everything leading up to what will be a full reveal. Zombies teasers, we might see something going through this weekend here, like tomorrow and Sunday in the not necessarily work week, but if it's small tweets like what we saw today, it is possible. As for a full-on reveal, I'm expecting Wednesday or Thursday here at this, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm personally a little bummed out though, because COD timing seems to be hitting me in real life again, where if they put out patch notes early, our coverage of the update should be relatively unimpeded, but then after the update, I'm gone for a couple of days here on a golf trip. So from in a 10-year perspective of not missing a DLC or seasonal drop in COD history in that window of time at all, I'll have now missed 3 of the last 4 or 4 of the last 5 this year, so I'm really doing great this year. But that's a first look at Season 4 and what we know of so far. Drop your thoughts down below. What are you guys looking forward to? Anything in particular? Let me know. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 6 and other FPS content I'd love to have in the community. For now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.